struck by gunfire at a random times. So that's why I think ShotSpotter would be beneficial to the region. So if you can see that, I'll cover this one real quickly. So I'll go into some of the technology that we're talking about. But with this technology, about 10 to 15% of gunfire nationally in areas that ShotSpotter was reported before they put the system in. But with this technology, in the areas that you have it set up, you will be notified and have a high likelihood of locating where those shots were fired in 90% of the cases versus 10 to 15%. So that's a huge difference in the community. So, and also the time that the officers are there, I'll cover some of the technology, how they get there quickly, and having a pinpoint location to find crime victims or where the shots were fired is much more rapid. So those are some of the benefits of the technology. So I'll make this as simple as possible. So this technology uses a multitude of acoustic sensors that are placed in the area that you're covering to triangulate where the gunfire is coming from. It all has to be outside. So inside of a residence, you're not going to. That's not effective. If it was on the doorway near outside, probably effective. But each sensor captures the precise time and location and triangulates that where the gunfire occurred, okay? So that schematic kind of shows that it takes at least 3 sensors to detect the gunfire and pinpoint the location. So at that point, the gunshots are detected, and the gunshot noise is sent to a command center run by this company where there's individuals just like ourselves that are analysts that listen to the sound. So it's automatic, but then there's a quality control function with an acoustical analysis before it goes out to the officers, dispatch center, et cetera. So then the police respond. So this technology all works in under 60 seconds. So from the time of the gunfire to the analysis to the dispatch, the alerts to the officers. So there's also an officer safety component there. So if one gunshot is fired versus 60 gunshots, which we've had some instances in the region where there's a large amount of gunfire, that the officers and dispatch, the officers know exactly what they're getting into. So there's an officer safety component to that at the same time. So, but the bottom line is the sensors that are placed on buildings, electric poles, light poles, houses, it takes 3 of them to detect it, and then it goes through the quality control. So the ShotSpotter accuracy, they say it's accurate to within 80 feet. And I'll talk about a visit I made to East Chicago where we talked really about how they use it in East Chicago. So we talked about within 60 seconds, if the chief and I and all our officers had it on our smartphone, it would come to our smartphone, it would come to our mobile data computer in our car that all our officers use. It would go to the dispatch center all simultaneously. Sometimes our officers are out doing things in the field, so dispatch is a crucial component of it at the same time. So across the ShotSpotter clients, there's about a 97% accuracy with the customers because they have, for example, in the last year, they had 12 million alerts across their customer base, but they only dispatched or alerted on 2% of those with the quality control, both the initial analysis, then the person analyzing it. So, because we do not want our officers going on to calls that have no merit. If it was someone pounding some nails, doing a building project, or a car backfiring, fireworks will get screened out, things like that. So we really need it fine-tuned. They've been working on this technology for 27 years. So we at least the feedback I had received from East Chicago is they've had it 10 years, and they really love it, and it's accurate, and it's fast. So, and as I said, it's verified by analysts in one of their incident command centers. They have one out on the West Coast, one on the East Coast that are manned 24/7, 365. So I talked a little bit about the app that's available. It's fairly easy to get once you have the Shot Spotter. It's just a URL website you go to. You download the app onto your phones. So, and I will say, if this is approved, that myself and my staff will, I guess I'm just going to say we're going to handle everything. The company does the training, but for the agencies in the area, state police, county, Benton Harbor, Benton Township, St. Joe Township, anyone who has a need for this application, it will be available to them. We will not be holding anything back. So as I said, you'll immediately get an alert on your phone, and it sends you the exact location in an audio file. So you have a Google Street View of exactly where you need to go. It's like a pinpoint when you put your map on that you're going somewhere. It puts the dot there where the gunfire is. And then you can listen to how many shots were fired. It all happens very quickly. And the one thing that this will do is will enhance the officers' abilities to locate where gunfire is going on in the communities. So I've had a lot of officers down here, they will hear shots 6 blocks over, 15 shots go off. Don't know who they're at or what they're at, but they're going off in the community. I know both Benton Township and Benton Harbor have the same circumstances with their officers multiple times. So this is a screenshot from East Chicago, their community, about 27,000 people, right on the water, heavy industrial. They have some gun violence in that community. And if you can see up there, the yellow dots where gunfires went off in their area that is mapped by Shot Spotter. Then you'll see in the middle that they've had 44 incidents in the last 20 days of gunfire in their community with 121 rounds. So this is like a command center application that would be available to Benton Harbor, the state police, Benton Township, whoever had a need for it. So you really know what's going on in your community. So that's an example from East Chicago. I was talking to the chief and the sergeant. They've had it 10 years. I like to get my feet on the ground and see someone that's really using it. That's why I went down to East Chicago with one of my staff and the chief and the sergeant there. It's just a crucial part of how they piece everything together to reduce gun violence. That's really what I'm talking about, is reducing gun violence, and anything that happens is quickly solving it too. So this is an example of a 2 square mile coverage area. It's just an example that covers some areas that have been prone to violent crime in the region of Benton Harbor, Benton Township. So the proposal I'm putting together covers 2 square miles. And we will sit down with the leaders of Benton Township, Benton Harbor, the police staff, if this is approved, and have the most advantageous area which is prone to gunshots and gun violence, and that'll be the coverage area. So this is just an example of 2 square miles in the city, so in the township. So that's what I'm spec'ing. I understand the city's bigger. That'd be, if I get this off the ground, then certainly we'd be looking at possible other grant opportunities to expand it for additional areas in the township and the city that needed it. So that's just an example right there. So if I'm successful in the proposal and there's support in the region, I know I've had some conversations already locally with the Benton Township Supervisor. It's good to be here today and talk about this plan. But if I can get this approved at the state level, I'm confident that my staff in Benton Harbor and Benton Township in Bering County, because the dispatch is going to play a huge role. I've already talked to the new current sheriff, Chuck Heighton, regarding the dispatch, and everyone will be a solid partner. We could have this hopefully up and running in the summer of next year. I've done a number of these projects before. I've always been successful. Got great teams around me, and but that's the presentation on ShotSpotter, and I'm hoping to present this to my leadership sometime in the next 2 to 3 weeks.
And Commissioner,
That's the presentation. So thank you. I'll be happy to answer any questions from the chiefs, citizens, or the committee.
so what we were asking for, if this is something that the commission would want to support and get behind, maybe I think a resolution of support would be huge for him to take to Lansing and say, we have the city's support, and I think it has a lot of weight if it's in resolution form.
I know for years we've been talking about this. Matter of fact, the Mayor Pro Tem was really harping on it. Time and time again, we deal with the gunshot violence and the cries. What can we do? Like you say, getting on the front end of it is definitely important. And then at some point, the word will be out there that if you recklessly firing guns, in this area, that your probability of getting caught is going up now. So I think South Bend, don't they? I believe they had it.
Yes, South Bend, Indiana has it. There's some bigger police agencies. Detroit has it. Chicago. The reason I went to East Chicago is they're a smaller community, 26,000, a little more applicable to the region that we're looking at here, and but we do have it fairly close to here. And Commissioner Singleton, you're 100% right. My vision is reducing gun violence is crime prevention as much as policing. Solving crimes. Obviously, we got to solve any crime that happens, but the crime prevention aspect is just as important to myself as anything here.
So, I've definitely, definitely supported. It's definitely a step in the right direction as far as trying to curtail it. We did realize back then when we talked about it, the price. We definitely couldn't afford it. That's definitely some high technology. So, you have any?
Yeah, I agree. I agree too. I feel as though prevention and deterrence is huge, right? Police can be taken more seriously. The response can be more effective. Instead of trying to scout for witnesses, you liable to run upon them, right? So I think that is huge. Police won't have to work as hard with their small number, and it can work smarter. I approve. I agree.
Co-chair, you.
Yeah, just one curious question on the ShotSpotter. Does it come up, is there any data on how many illegal guns they come up with behind a spot shooter location?
No, the one thing that is apparent that with the rapid response, as the other member said, your officers are there. Sometimes they're never even called, as we know, right? Mm-hmm. So with the proper training and operational procedures, every instance of alerted gunshots in Benton Harbor and Benton Township will be 100% responded to. So obviously that will have an impact on crime solvability, seizing illegal guns, and also individuals that may be inclined to gun violence know that the city is covered with ShotSpotter and refrain from that.
Thank you, Captain Brown.
I think you made a point too, as the retired law enforcement officer, like you say, those shots, a lot of time those shots, a lot of shots go off and don't get reported, you know? And all that does is make the criminal more comfortable, you know, with firing shots. You know? Just today I was down in Niles, and it was like 1 o'clock. And I was standing outside, matter of fact, talking to Mr. Jackson. He was down there, and probably about 14 shots went off. Oh, I said, man, somebody's shooting. I guess some habits hard to break, you know, just where's it coming from? And I kind of figured maybe over by the sheriff, the county's office over there. I don't know if they got a range over near there or something, but hopefully, and didn't seem like an area was for deer hunting either. So
There is a range by the sewer plant in Niles.
okay, off of near Fifth Street
sir.
somewhere. I figured I said, okay, got to
sir.
be something. So I still got to hear. But yeah, I do think this is excellent. No cost to the city. Is there any cost involved?
Well,
Probably some-
the proposal I'm putting together covers 3 years. So, and I'll just be upfront, it's 100,000 per year for the 2 square miles. So, and so that's what it's going to be. And there's some other technology improvements I'd like to do for our detectives that work there. But the shot spotter proposal for the 2 square miles of the priority area of Harbor Benton Township is $100,000. Approximately, I'm gonna give you the approximate cost, but that'll be for a 3-year period, $100,000 per year.
and multi-jurisdiction, so it's, if it is, it'd be kind of like shared cost.
So,
Yeah.
but that's the proposal I'm gonna put forward based on what we're doing in this community to reduce violent crime. So,
So you'll be,
go ahead.
you'll be back to and tell us you're renewing the grant.
Well, I hope I'll come back and say I've been successful
Right.
Getting the first
obtaining
grant.
obtaining the funding
Yeah.
to get this kicked off in 2024. And then myself and others will hopefully look at options to cover the rest of the city through some grant funding. So this would be non-grant funding through our state of Michigan budgets. So, but that's what I'm putting the proposal together.
And then
But I
what,
really appreciate the time.
what price can you put on, you know, for life, you know, so.
I support.
Okay. Any questions from the,
A question from Chief Abrams.
okay.
Everybody knows we're living in a era of intelligence, digital intelligence. And I've looked over the Shot Spotter program quite a few times. I've spoken with Kathy Yates, Township Supervisor, about the Shot Spotter. And looked at the numbers and we looked at what the cost would be. They're actually considering even implementing our own unit aside from yours, Captain Brown. So this is the game changer. This is being on scene before the echo leaves, okay, from the gunfight. And being a law enforcement for 30 years, I've waited for something. This is like a dream come true for me. I've waited for something like this. We have the Highland area, we have the Marion Home area, homicides lately, and in both areas. And right now, this intelligence will greatly increase our capacity. People guns off the street, get some suspects off the street. Happy that Captain Brown allowed us to use his men when we were able to recover the 121 guns from Dunhamsville. That was outstanding, to say the least. That 121 guns spread out across Michigan. That would have been a bad situation. So, invest in this program, I would say this right way to go, even maybe after this 3 years is over with. Find a way, make a way. I writer in my department, we're going to be grant writing to death to afford this type of intelligence. I feel at this point, and of course, Director McGinnis, we all the time we always talk. What can we do to improve one of the main right here, we're hoping that our officers will be grateful to have such technology.
Thank you, Chief Abrams. Any other questions? Thank you, Captain Brown.
Thank you.
The consensus to move it to the.
Since we moved this for
Support. Yep.
support, letter of support. Next item on the agenda is the presentation update from the MLK Monument. Commissioner Isom.
Thank you, Honorable Chair and Co-Chair and Citizen Rep. Today we have the update from first of all, I'm Commissioner Isom of the city and Co-Chair of the Unified Civic Monument Project. Today we'll be giving an update on where we're going, in which direction, and we're having an update from the Browns, the visionaries that started this. So we do have support here from the committee and from one of the artists. Brown, you have the floor.
Good evening, everybody.
Good evening.
Again, I'm Mac Brown with the Unified Civic Monuments Project. We're grateful and thankful to be here this evening. And we are here to present an update on what has become a monument movement. It is, in fact, moving, and we're looking forward to a tentative unveiling date of next year. We also have here represented Mr. Garth Woodruff from the Rootbound, which is an architectural landscaping, has actually rendered our digital renderings for the monument visions. Again, it's a movement. It's moving. And we're getting so close that we have to come and provide an update to the city. We have been instrumental as well as getting us this far.
First of all, I'm just very moved and excited when I come here. The work that we've been doing in the community, it circles back around here. Whether we are here every Monday or Wednesday and the other subcommittees, we're out in the community working for our city and for the residents in this particular project. And it's good to be here. And we hope that you know that how much we love our community. And pretty much this is what this is all about. You know, I've been listening carefully to the other presentations, information that's been given tonight. And it almost seems as if the monument is in their words when they talk about community and wanting to see results and to do better with our youth, and when they were speaking about new technology and how we can use this to help make the community safer, more desirable. And as I was just listening, I was thinking, gosh, that's unity in itself, whether we've been working and sitting at the table together, and sometimes where we're in one part of the city and another part, and all working for the same cause. So the monuments, we're hoping that they're not just going to be, you know, cement or brick, marble. These monuments mean what you've already heard tonight is to hopefully steer that which we don't desire in our cities. and to try to encourage people and inspire them and to remind them visually, for them to see something that may steer them in the right direction, to keep them from the thoughts of gunfire. But they would think peace. They would think that there's a baton that's being passed just from looking at MLK. What was that all about? And it wasn't that he had a gun in his hand. And so just listening tonight at some of the issues and the work that's being done for the city, it makes me again just feel that we are on the right track concerning these two monuments. Those that have gotten, I believe, emails from Commissioner Isom or the lovely city clerk that is just always outstandingly helpful. I appreciate her so much. It really hasn't been any real major changes. It's just that we needed to come because we're so close. You know, we were down on one side of the mountain, and we're pretty much up over the top. We was last a couple months ago just halfway down on the other side. But we're getting ready to slide into home plate now. So the funds are, this last round, we've got one more. I love it when I hear folks saying, I'm gonna grant write it to death. That's what we've been doing, is grant writing it to death. And it has got us sliding into home plate now. That's why we can speak now of an unveiling happening next year, hopefully before the snow. That's what we're looking at, maybe October, November. And we wanted you guys to know that it's done. So we're hoping that we can pitch in, that this will pitch in and help some of the other issues that we're dealing with in our cities. And, you know, we just really, it's Christmas. And we just felt like before the year was out, we needed to come and just bring the gift to let you know that most of the work has been done. And next year, we can all look forward to gather in these two locations for unveiling. And so if there's any questions, if you've had time to review already the changes, nothing major as far as just the area, the amount of things, it's all still the same. But again, it has been a while since we've been before you, and we just wanted to come back and let you know that all is well, and things have, I mean, they're really on speed dial. Please look forward to, we're first time ever we're doing a door-to-door mailer for both cities. This is the first time we've ever done this because we don't want to leave anyone out, and I just felt like Benton Harbor in particular, I said, I don't feel they've been saturated enough with the awareness of the monuments. And so coming out later this month, we're looking forward to a postcard to give people opportunity that still would like to maybe donate, get their namesakes on the monument. And there's we call it a GoFundMe, but then there's other terms, patronicity, crowdfunding, and all this other stuff. So that's going to be part of the postcard, letting folks know that this is our last grant that we're pursuing, and our last call and response to the cities of Benton Harbor and St. Joe.
And if there are any questions,
Okay. First, I'll just like to thank you for all the hard work. I know it's been hard, you know, I remember from the beginning when you were starting, and you know the different views and stuff. I think you did a great job of trying to incorporate, you know, everybody's
We heard you.
we
heard you.
Opinions, and I think it'll be a awesome site there at City Center Park, also known now as it's Dwight Pete Mitchell Park. Now he's the late Dwight Pete Mitchell. So he didn't get a chance to see it, but I'm sure, you know. Yeah. Any questions here from the panel?
No questions. I agree, and I remember early, like just being at events together, right? And the the passion and consistency has really paid off. It's not what you start, but what you finish, right? And what you stay with, and not changing for whatever reason, right? And the vision is the vision, and you've made it plain. I appreciate you guys very much.
Co-chair, you.
I would just like to say congratulations, working with you guys. I guess it was last year, and it was kind of interesting how I got involved with that. It was kind of like, where I was going with it. But, and I was just thinking of the window in there. And I don't know if you already took input on that or not, but I was just looking at that, and I was like, oh man, that window adds a thought to it, as though he's coming from the light of hope, as opposed to just a plain wall. And I appear with this great message. The church window, it's like you're being sent to do this, as opposed you just appeared from somewhere. But I wouldn't want to delay this. I know how hard the group worked to get this done. And it would be magnificent to see it. And I think, everybody, once you see it, something you could bring your grandkids here, because the generations that have no idea what this stands for. They know Dr. Martin Luther King had a dream. Some of them even know his speeches by heart. But to live it and to understand it and walk some of those protests means a lot to us that had to do it. So I thank you very much for it. Very much.
To piggyback, I don't know if you can come back to me, but I don't know, again, I'm just thinking about the plan of action and what Commissioner just brought up in regards to, you've had marches, you've had different things mimicking your mission, right? And they were so just, they weren't obvious, but they were obviously felt, right? You were, especially if you engaged. And so, again, I'm really proud of you guys, and younger people don't even necessarily, have the wherewithal or to continue with it, right? And just having conversation with you guys at different times of like, I'm just trying, or I just believe, not even when you had, not even having the support that you would think you would get, whereas you're trying to empower, put in place representation or inclusiveness, and people not even seeing that, right, and appreciating it. Yeah, and I'm just really proud of you guys. So I'm sorry, I'm all about to be emotional, but it's really a good thing. And like also Jerry was saying in regards to people don't know, and he was Dr. Martin Luther King, but he was a pastor, right?
Okay.
And people will now spark conversations. It can be a classroom trip. It can be a church trip. It can be a civic engagement trip. And I'm already thinking about things to do, right? There and in reference to that. And we have it because of you guys. And so my question then was, what was that process in regards to, contributing and getting the name on the wall and things like that? Do you have a pricing and things just yet, or will you come back and present that as well, or it just be in the mail?
I would certainly direct you back to the website. It actually has that information on there in regards to if you have a church or a family, or there's a namesake that you would like to see at the monument. It is at least, it begins with $1,000 donation, and we've tried to encourage family legacies, in particular where your family has been here and stationed in Benton Harbor and contributes so much, and a lot of you are sitting here in this room, and your family name needs to be there. It's going to take $5, $10, $15, $50 to get the family together to say and agree upon to have our family namesake there. That's important to this project. I know sometimes we feel like we're overlooked and left out. you're saying sometimes things are missed. I've been trying to be loud, even with this door-to-door mailing. This is an opportunity for your family namesake. Our public safety director, how long has he been here? His family. There's legacies of pastors and preachers of 2 and 3 generations and churches, and for us to have an opportunity to leave something of history, for other folks to know the history of your family, of your church. Don't miss that. It's just not enough stretch and time to try to break it all down in bite-sized pieces in little bitty groups. And it's unfortunate, a miracle such as this, you kind of sometimes still feel rushed through it, and then at the same time, I don't want anybody to miss. Like you said, working with it, I kind of know, and so we're doing our very best to get people to see the depth of it and the opportunity that it's also for them to be a part of it. And I wanted to just make a comment toward Commissioner Jerry when he said the window and the light and all. I love that, and that's what art is about too as well, is to look at it and then see and draw and what draws you to it. And certainly that window, nobody knows, the artists know, we know, but that window is a window of opportunity, because that's what MLK was about. That window is a window of light. It also is a window that he was transparent. You could see through. So you're right, it wasn't all about a wall and you can only see him from one side. Martin, he was out there for you to see worldwide. So I appreciate your artistic reflections.
While they were talking, I was just sitting there envisioning the buses coming in from the schools, and tourists coming in, and long after we gone, it'll still be going on. So yeah.
I say Merry Christmas, Benton Harbor in particular, because we don't have anything else like this, and I just feel like it's just kind of a present right now here at Christmas time. For Benton Harbor to be getting something like this. And I know we have our sister city, St. Joe, but they're a little bit spoiled. We already know that. They got a lot of this stuff. So this means to us, this is a special gift. And I just want to see the unveiling where we all open it together.
Thank you. Any other? Okay. Okay.
We do have one request, though. We need a point person from the city that can, when construction start, that the contractors can contact. So, city manager, assistant city manager.
And it's not scary. It's Garth. Garth, can you just, you'll be working mostly with Garth over there from Rootbound.
Communicate, city manager, assistant city manager, is that okay? Is that?
Yeah.
Can we get?
All it is about groundbreaking. The day we show up and concrete starts getting moved, or there's a little something that we're getting ready to do as far as moving into preparing the site.
This is gonna be a celebration. Now's the time.
All right. Anyone else? Anything else? Thank you. Merry Christmas.
Thank you. As Commissioner Isom would say, great things are happening.
Great thing.
All right. At this time, I was going to kind of save it till the end, but I'm going to be obedient to the Holy Spirit. And I just want to thank my co-chair, Commissioner Jerry Edwards, who's been doing a great job with the Park and Recreations as it was attached to this committee. Next month, there been some kind of reorganization, so Park and Recreations. Okay. Yeah. Well, it's being proposed that Park and Recreations will be moved to the Planning and Economic Development. But thank you for the work you've been doing there, and I know it'll continue. So just appreciate your services and your continued services. Just want to say that. At this time, Park and Recreation update from co-chair Commissioner Edwards.
Thank you, Chair Singleton. And I would like to say before I forget, to my last meeting, public safety meeting of the year. And I want to say congratulations to all of public safety law enforcement, from federal all the way down to our local. It's been a very interesting position. I had relatives that were, in law enforcement. But then when you get a son or a daughter in law enforcement, it brings you a whole perspective, and you look at law enforcement a little different. So I kind of get an understanding of what you guys had to go through month after month. I can't say day after day, but month after month. And I just want to let you know that I appreciate you guys' work. Everyone else here, thank you all for coming out. Parks update, that is a proposed move, as Commissioner Singleton was saying. Just on behalf of the parks myself, I want to thank Commissioner Singleton for those remarks. And I want to thank those of Ben Harbor for allowing me to be myself in these parks. Parks has always been my thing because it brings kids to a place of peace. Working with kids in some of the worst places, a park was sort of a neutral ground for a lot of kids who did not want to, who could not make it home before trouble would start. But if there was a park in between the school and that home, they needed somebody at that park to be their protector, to be there. I started a program where we had, it was called Safety Net, where we would just have people sit in the park. Maybe we would have seniors sit in the park for 2 hours. You have different kids, you'd be surprised how many kids eventually would want to talk to one of you all. They come up to you with a conversation you wouldn't even imagine that that kid should even have that idea in their mind. But to know that they can come to a stranger that they have been watching, that you didn't know they were watching, come up to you with a question that they wouldn't even ask their parents. That's a lot of trust. So what does a park mean to me? It means life for a lot of children who have no parents, who might have parents, but are not capable. Some are capable, but they might be working 2 or 3 jobs, so they might be raising themselves. Some children are looking for help. They don't know how to ask. They're not going to walk up to you and say, hey, you want to be my mama? Not going to do that. They're going to watch you and they're going to trust you. We got to be on hand. Shot Spotter is great. Great. I love it. But if we can get to a kid before he gets to the gun, Spot Shotter becomes insignificant to a point. So when we get our kids and they're grown, we got to reach back. Just be there. You don't have to spend any money. Just be there. Kid lying down the slide and the bully comes in, they can run over there and act like you're their grandparents or something. But it saves their life, or it saves a medical bill, or it saves somebody from going to jail. That's my update on parks. Other than, I don't know if anybody else is here, DDA, beautiful job. Richard, thank you very much for all you do. Even when he's on vacation, he's sending me stuff. I called him, there was 140 tires we had to put up. Called Richard. Richard was there. It's cold, but we did it. Had fun doing it. Thank you, Deidre.
Thank you.
Thank everybody for coming to hear your update for the parks. I will be, and this is it, I will be over there playing some Christmas music at times. Be 2 hours at a time. Can't get froze. So I will be over there playing some music for about a couple of hours. Christmas music, that's all it'll be. So thank you all very much. Yes. Questions? I'm sorry.
I'm wondering if you've been to Jean Clark Park in the last week. I went out there. There's the electrical box. There's some horrible things. Somebody's gonna get hurt out there with that electrical box. Wires. So I just want you to know, I took a picture, but I didn't know how to send it to you, city manager. So I'm here to say it, and somebody really needs to look at it.
Thank you, Commissioner. I haven't been out there this past week, but I will go out there right by there tomorrow.
The electrical box is open,
Can we,
and there's a wire hanging there. So it needs to be addressed immediately.
Thank you.
Ms. Fields, you,
Anyone else have? Oh.
Commissioner, where is the wire? No, the park, but what power source? Like, where is it?
Concession stand? On the
Okay.
little, you have to go in the little hallway?
Okay. I do have something with the parks in regards to the Spark grant. I didn't know if Assistant City Manager was going to talk about it, but it is the grant for the renovations of Jane Clark Park Playground. And this is the community engagement piece, right? And so I've been in combination with Marcy Hamilton we have a survey. Tomorrow, we're actually going to the park with Bridge and a couple Youth Build kids, Bridge Academy and Youth Build kids. The survey was in combination last Friday with Benton Harbor High School Commitment and FAFSA Day. So it was like 100 surveys completed at that time. And it's more of a in general one is, do you know where you live, kind of the demographics and what would you like to be renovated and things of that nature. And then Albemarle has 3 mock-ups to choose from. The grant has to be submitted at the end of, I want to say the 27th, but the end of January. So this event with the kids is the second youth-focused engagement, and then I'm confirming with the high school in regards to having another event there where they will actually be able to choose the mock-ups, which one they would like. So the conversation with Bridge tomorrow, 1 o'clock, if Mr. Ice, or Commissioner Isom pop up, to get the kids, to get kids' opinions. We want everybody to do the surveys, but you obviously want kids to engage. Like when I was meeting with Bridge, the kids were like, "Oh, can we have a merry-go-round?" And I'm like, I didn't think about that. And so I said, save that question, compose some questions, and actually ask Marcy Hamilton about it. So again, that is tomorrow at 1. It's roughly about 18 kids. I think Louise may be able to show up. She's going on vacation Thursday. But that is something that is happening again for us, right? We have Hull Park, now it's Jean Clark Park. I think we're way overdue for a new playground. I keep forgetting it's even there. I'm like, playground. So I will make sure that we don't go over by the wire. That's why I wanted to know. We're going up under the pavilion. And so also too, I'm sorry, we're gonna have it where the kids are competing for like a $50 gift card of doing their rendition of the of the mock-ups. And so that'll be voted on. The proposed date is January 17th at the high school, 5 to 7, but Cindy has to confirm it. Family Engagement Specialist, Cindy Goodson, so that it's no testing or anything else on that day.
Cool.
through the manager, if you could make sure somebody get out there to see that. Make sure that's safe. Okay.
Noted.
Okay.
It says 1 o'clock tomorrow.
All right.
Actually, that was it over there, just the lights. Parks, somebody asked about, I'm gonna ask Mr. Mitchell. Somebody asked me about the gate that goes down to Edwards Park. Is there any work being done down there? Is that, so the gate is just, somebody probably just broke it open?
Probably so.
Okay, because I drove by there, I wanted to go down there, but I ain't going down there.
Go down there now.
Yeah, I'm not going down there, so.
Big Chief.
You know, what is that, going down to Edwards Park territorial by the cemetery? The gate is open. So I was just wondering if somebody asked me if they was doing work down there, or was it just the chain broke or whatever? That's it.
Jerry, that gate's been open since summertime.
Yeah.
Should it be closed up?
should it be closed?
I mean, you go down there, ain't nothing down there. You go down there at the wrong time, I guess your vehicle gets stuck. But other than that, it's nothing down there, really. It was Edwards Park. It's a lot of tires down there.
I'm sorry, I do have one more thing. This power box that me and Richard Roberts actually at different times have referenced. I can't even remember the name of the street.
What?
You know the name? It's on it's an old AEP power box. I have pictures. It was kind of duct tape, and it's no longer taped. Catalpa and Broadway.
Talpa and Broadway,
It
yeah.
has a new one right next to it, or a newer one, but it's literally wire, like power. I'm not understanding if it's deactivated, or what's going on with that. And I looked at it back in the summer, and then it has been rotating more or less on Facebook and different people, and that is Broadway more than.
Yeah.
What you
It's
mean?
only like a little,
No,
yeah.
it's a standard box, but it's
Gray box.
power. Yes, but is it power to it? Is it live? Should it even still be there? Should it be taken away? Okay, and it's ugly, so
Sorry. You paint it.
yeah.
So could we get that checked out?
I mean, it's literally like duct tape.
Did already.
Okay.
You know that.
It's very
that-
ugly.
Any more,
All right.
any more questions?
Yeah, they're going,
Questions? Oh, I'm sorry. Mr. Duncan?
Really, I just wanted to thank you for the things that you've done. Nobody else wanted to, would do, or would even try to do. I appreciate you, and there's a lot of citizens, not only regular citizens, I'm not talking about anybody else, I'm talking about regular citizens would appreciate you a lot.
Yeah.
Kids, the parents, and I do too.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate it. Love it. Any more questions? Keep the accolades going. Give me some tissue.
no, that's not good, but just kind of, yeah.
One more thing.
Yes, sir.
I just hope whatever you intend to do, all of these partners that didn't help you, I mean, may have helped you somewhat, think about helping you to the utmost this time. Because a lot of things like a gym need for our citizens. I'm not just talking about for the little kids, I'm talking about for our age. We'll go in there and shoot around, play some ball, won't be shooting up the place and all that, and going through a lot of mess. If they can't help you, if they didn't help you then, I'm just praying that they'll help you now. Thanks again.
Thank you. That midnight thing, just one thing. Me and Chief talked about it many times, and also, I can't think of her name, director of Boys and Girls Club, the small one. We did a tournament called Midnight Tournament, and the crime rate went down from midnight to 6 in the morning. And this was doing housing projects in Chicago. And the tournament would start at 11 at night. And well, of course, we don't have that here, but the gang generals were in charge of security. And they met with city officials. And each gym, they had a gang official with a police official who would make sure that nobody came in that gym with any type of weapon. And for 3 years, from 11 at night to 6 in the morning, crime went down. Something to think about and something I'm thinking about. Thank you, Mr. Duncan.
At this time, there's general comments. This is definitely, it's comments, and you have 3 minutes. Does anybody just have some general comments? You have 3 minutes.
Mr. Raber?
Mr. Edwards, okay?
Them also, I don't need a mic or anything, but there's a tree program,
Them to come to the mic.
Mr. Edwards.
Oh, yeah, come to the mic.
Yeah, we recording this, man. We need to.
I know on the city homepage, website homepage, there's a promotion for some assistance at large limbs and trees. Mr. Little has spoken of it before. I'm curious if there's any action there. I have seen a large tree that was taken down probably by the property owner. It's laying along the street. It's now got a yellow tag on it, which is a code violation, I think. It would be great, as opposed to the tag and being punitive on the person who is trying to take down probably a big dangerous tree, to let them help them be aware of the program that exists, so that can maybe be handled with budget grant assistance.
You and I kind of thinking along the same way. If you'll stop by and you get a chance, you can help me with that. If you'll stop by, you can, I can talk with you about it. You can help me with that.
I will do that. I'd be glad to. Thank you.
Sure will.
There's right in the same area, LaSalle, there's a tree that's, you can see through two different directions that isn't, I don't know if it's probably owned property. It's right next to the street. Safety concern, I think I've reported that before, but it still stands. Is that program active? I'm curious.
Which program is that?
I'll talk to you. Yeah, the tree program.
The sale, is it a cross street for the?
It's on LaSalle along the ravine, which borders Edwards Park there.
It'd be
Yes, that's the
between
main one.
Walkland and,
After KPEP? I'm trying to visualize, sorry.
Wait, Mr. Little.
One other thing, just safety, there's a woman who does a lot of wheelchair time, and I don't know if anybody, I think Mr. Edwards knows her. Man, she could use some reflective tape on that thing, because she's cruising along the edge of Main Street, so safety, that would be big.
Mr. Little, you had your hand.
Yes, it just occurred to me that I may be missing an opportunity to explain to the general public that program and how it is designed to work. What we need to do is get an inventory with pictures and the address or location where these down tree limbs and trees are, so that we can determine if any of them are city-owned property, and most of them I already know are mostly privately owned. The thing with privately owned properties is we can't just go on them and start doing stuff because it looks good and so forth. It's a good way to have a good deed go punished because somebody then claims something and wants to sue and all of that. So what we need to do, once we get them cataloged like that and who properties belong to, is have code enforcement actually go contact that property owner or post that for a period of time, giving people an opportunity to object if they want to or whatever. And if they don't, then we can take and package those and bid them out to have somebody come and clean those up and remove them. And then we can put that cost on the property where it's taken up. Because removing these trees and things on private property is a responsibility of that property owner. Kind of as Commissioner was just saying, it wouldn't be allowed anywhere else. But we've got so many of them, it just overwhelms us, is what has happened. And that's the reason that CDBG, we've set up a program to try and address that. If it's on city property, I can just bundle them, package them, put out bids, get them cleaned up. But if they're on private property, there's a process you have to go through in order to protect the city.
Mr. I'll get right back to you. Wasn't that program also where a homeowner could participate in Could you explain that part?
Absolutely. If a homeowner has such a situation and wants to address it, if they'll let us know, we can work with them to do it, and we'll pay 2/3 of the cost of removing that if they'll just pay 1/3 of it.
Mr. Fields?
I'm trying to finish my note. And just to or to speak to that, that has been brought up some time ago and actually offered to help, and I did not. And then when I say a long time ago, it was warm. So me and Richard and Jerry will help you with that.
Thank you. I
Yep.
would really appreciate it.
Yep.
Any other
Yes,
comments?
we will. She said it. I didn't know.
Richard doing it already.
Volunteered, you know.
Any other comments? Can you come to the?
Oh, you come to the mic.
Come back again, please.
Right, I forgot to.
3 minutes.
Yes, I'm hurrying. So glad to be hearing about the trees, because me and Mr. Brown just drove down the side street there on Broadway, Levant, and we're going to take photographs of these 2 trees that's been like standing up in half, there. Because we met an artist last week over at the Krazel Art Center, and she deals in wood. She burns wood and create art out of this wood. And so we were gonna get together with her. She said, send me the photographs of these trees, and maybe we can come together and come with the city and see if we can start making art, because the trees have been there like 10 years, right? It was been a long time the trees been hanging out. The dead, rotten trees broke off, right? The trunks are still there. And so we just got this idea of trying to create art. And so we went to go take the pictures of 2 that we know has been there forever, and they're gone. And I'm like, what happened? So, y'all cut the trees down, the trunk of the trees down. And so if in fact you find you in a situation where there is a trunk as you guys are out working, and maybe it's in a really nice spot that you think a piece of art might would work, there's this wonderful artist that's willing to look and maybe put one of our legacy faces or something and create and start. We could use that. So anyway, it's just kind of funny. This just happened. We just went this week to take pictures of it, and they were gone. Okay, thank you.
Thank you. That's a good idea.
They working. They work.
Interesting.
Community at work. I like that. Any other questions? Any other comments? Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for coming out. And the
See you next week.
committee is adjourned.
Just joking.
Yeah, Monday